Hello and welcome to another quick look. This time we are taking a look at the Planetbase by Madruga works. And Planetbase is a kind of builder strategy game where you colonize a planet and start a small outpost there, and with your initial small group you land in there and start building bigger and bigger facilities, getting more people, and try to basically make a massive colony into the planet. And in the new game here options, you have three different planets. You have this desert planet, which is basically Mars, which is the easiest planet, and then you have to unlock the next two planets, which are the frozen planet and gas giant moon. And it's more difficult each time, and there's different environmental and other challenges with the planet. In the Mars, basically you have just asteroids and dust storms and who knows what interesting things you encounter in the other ones. It takes a while to unlock these. I've only have a fourth of the milestones unlocked at the moment in the desert planet. The game is actually quite challenging and unforgiving. If you mess up, you lose your colony, pretty much. Is the point of the game. Somehow colonizing other planets is not so easy, and the game definitely reflects that. And there's a very good tutorial in the game. I'm not gonna show the tutorial now, but if you are playing the game first time, I highly recommend jumping into the tutorial. It tells you all the basics really well, and you will have problems playing the game if you don't check the tutorials. Especially the start is very rough in the game, and you can really quickly and easily mess up and lose your colony, as I said. Let's jump into the new game, and I'm gonna go for the desert planet, as it's the only one we have available here. So it's a medium-sized desert planet. There's some solar flares and meteors, and it's good for solar panels. There's nice wind turbines for it as well, and meteors are low, solar flares are low, and sandstorms are high. But you will encounter all of these. Solar flares are not too bad, as long as you can keep your people inside. Sandstorms are not too bad either, but meteors can be extremely frustrating. Like my last game died on a extremely well-placed meteor that basically ruined the colony. So it can be bad. You can also choose your location, which kinda affects the terrain where you land on. I don't know if it's fully procedural or if it uses the kind of landscape as you see around there, but we'll just land here. There we go. And there's our initial colony pod. Well, it's not really, that's our ship, where all the goods are stored and where our people are transferred onto the planet. There they come. And we need to be quick as we start the game, because they will run out of oxygen very quickly. So we need to get initial area for them done immediately. There is no pausing in the game as well, so let's be quick. So we start with the airlock here. Let me scout this area. It's kind of narrow. That's not good. But yeah, there's an airlock for you, and we'll need a solar panel for a power generation here. All buildings need to be connected to each other like this, so we'll put that in there. And we want a power collector as well. We'll probably have to wait for that, for this to connect. And you can click on two buildings, or you have to click on two buildings to create this connection between them, and they will build that connection. The green they showed was just like the possible links. So there we have a oxygen generator. So we need power and we need oxygen to start this, and we need water to extract the oxygen from. So we have here a power collector and a water extractor. We'll go with the water extractor there. And solars only work during daytime, so you need wind power. So we get we're gonna get a wind turbine immediately as well, as that helps us during the nighttime as well to generate power and to supplement the solar during the day. Also, we need a power collector so that our power doesn't run out during the nighttime when power generation is much lower. So there's our O2 generator and our airlock. So now they can actually enter the building. And once we have the water extractor is actually done, so they have water now. And you see the O2 is now actually rising, and these become livable, and they can actually go in and not die. So that's the very basics done for them now. And we'll get a couple more buildings, and I'll explain these a bit more in a second. Let's get a canteen down here. So this is the building where they will eat and process the food, and we'll get them a sleeping area as well. As you saw these links being formed, some buildings are dead ends, and this is one of the dead end buildings. So normally you can connect other buildings into the other, well, at least these modules, but like this dorm module where you sleep is a dead end, so they won't walk through the building all the time when people are sleeping there. And you have to be careful placing these into different places, because if you place it, if this had been a dorm, it would have been really difficult to expand down here. So you have to plan your base accordingly. Okay, so O2 is done. There's one of my robots. So this game features this construction and logistic robots, and I think this is a logistic or a carrier robot. Well, it's a logistic robot, and these just carry different things around to warehouse and to ships and from ships. And the construction bot actually constructs. Of course, your own guys will also carry items and build stuff. And in addition to that, there is a mining robot that goes into the mining, well, mine, and mines stuff for you. Let's open the domes. There was a quick key for that. Tab is. So you can see inside the domes, and you see your guys here walking around. He's a worker, another worker. We can actually see them from here. So there's 5 different classes in the game. The workers, who basically, well, they're workers. They work in mines and build stuff. You have biologists who are working in the growing domes, basically, and make you food and stuff like that. Engineers who construct lots of parts for replacement parts for the blades and all kinds of repair kits. Then you have medics, who are basically, well, doctors who make medicine and heal your people. And then you have guards, as you can get visitors into your colony and invaders as well, and you need cars in the late game. And here's your bots, so carrier bots, constructor bots, and driller bots, and that's basically your workforce in the colony. You can buy and make the bots, and you can make a landing pad for more population. But let's go into the dorm. So normally you just build these buildings, but with some of the buildings like the dorm here, you can actually add modules into there. You can recycle it, you can remove the structure, and you can disable the structure as well. It's actually done. Let's edit the contents. So this editing contents is the part where you add things. So a bunk bed, and you can freely place them where they are allowed. So for example, bunk beds can be placed around the rim here, and well, they are basically furniture that they use to sleep. You know what beds are. And in the canteen here, you have more options. And canteen, the placement is a bit different. So there's a meal maker which they use to make food out of different food products. So we'll place that in there. There's 2 tables, a small table and a 4 table. We'll put the 4 table in there. And then there's a drinking fountain. This is very important part of their colony, because this is where they will drink the water from the water collectors. And you can also place video screens and decorative plants to increase their happiness, basically. So we can put one of these big screens. So there's I saw a flash of blue there for a second. There. All of this construction, of course, requires materials. So up here you can see information about your colony. So we have 7 people in total, 2 bots, daytime, and the wind strength. And you can switch the panels to see these information here. So we have 35 meals. This is metal, bioplastic, medicines, and spares. Spares are the repair parts you need to maintain your robots and your well, basically everything, more or less. So we have almost everything except food now. So we need to make a biodome, and biodomes are very important as they produce bioplastics for you. Well, materials for bioplastics, which you need to process, of course, and then your food. So you can be pretty much self-sustaining once you have this and a mine and a factory, because you can mine for metal and make well, metal bars out of that, and then you can farm the materials for bioplastic and food, of course, and you have both of the construction materials, which allows you to build stuff. These guys are complaining a bit about food. I don't know why they are not going in. Since we have a traffic jam. He's also thirsty. Oh well. Let's connect that. We should have meals, so they should eat. Well, I guess the meal maker was not done on this table. So you need to be quick, or they will get really angry and hungry. The really bad ones initially is the oxygen, of course, because you will die if you don't have oxygen, and then hydration and food are the next key things. The other ones, like the sleep and those, they just get crampy for a bit and sleep on the floor, but you can survive without that. You can also speed up the time up to 4 times, so it's times 1, times 2, times 4 if you are waiting for something to be done. And often you do need to do that. There was a meteor on the background there. So if you have heard those booming sounds, those are meteors hitting around the neighborhood, and they are totally random, and at any moment they could hit anywhere here and just screw me over badly. One big complaint I have about the game is some of these UI menus. They work absolutely perfectly, but I would like to have some of this information visible all the time. Like, I want to know how much food and materials we have all the time, but I would also like to know what time of daytime it is. You can basically see it from here, but I would like to know how it cycles, and also the wind strength, so I can see your information. There's also some other these data panels here, like the power grid. I wish this was shown all the time, how much power you have and how much you have stored, and the water and oxygen information. So I wish this was more visible in the game, and basically you could have all of these, this bar and smaller power grid bar under it here, and it wouldn't take too much space from the UI in my opinion, but it would provide you with some very, very key information which might help you survive better. Like at the moment we have a really low O2 because I don't know. Actually, I think we ran out of power during the nighttime. This power collector didn't have enough power during the nighttime. So yeah, we almost died there. Because we didn't know that the power was so bad. So let's actually make another wind turbine. You can use mouse wheel to increase the size of the buildings, so we can make this small wind turbine, this a bit bigger one or this really massive phone. And we'll make one of those in there. And while they're working on that, let's go to the dome here, the biodome, and we'll add some food. So up here is these quickly growing starchy foods, and starch is the one you use as the bioplastic. So these are they give food, but they also give you starch, which you can work into the bioplastic. So they're really good thing to grow. Then you have just different foods. There are different speeds and high maintenance, or just slow growing, low maintenance. So depending on how many biologists you have, you might want to grow food slowly, but with a low maintenance, or just go for high maintenance and just grow tomatoes and fill your kitchen with ketchup. Then you have medicinal plants, which are produced into medicine, and then you have trees here, which can be used for relaxation. So you can make a tree dome, basically, not just growing domes, but just like a place to enjoy life in this desert planet. And you also have these gene manipulated tomatoes and onions, which you can buy later on. There's different buildings and these growing things, and also some of the bots require these little plants you need to buy from a trader. We'll go with let's go peas, rice, potatoes, and wheat, and then we'll put the medicine there as a starter. Why not also tomato and lettuce? Hello, small rock. That's a close meteor there. What are you complaining? Thirsty? And there's the construction bot working its magic. So keeping an eye on the power grid is extremely important, especially at night time when the solars are not working. Solars are your main power generation, and wind turbines only slightly help during the night time. Especially it's bad when the wind power is really low. You might have to turn some buildings off during the night time to survive, and you also need to make sure you have enough power collectors, so that you store enough power during the nighttime, so that you can run everything during during the daytime, store the power, so that you have enough power during the nighttime, so you don't have to turn anything off. As I showed, this was the base management. There's all kinds of information in here that you can use, and there's the techs. These are the ones you need to buy from vendors, and also there are the milestones. So as you complete these milestones, you get further and further in their planet unlocks. So we actually got this one. I don't know if these count. I've completed 4 of these earlier, as you showed there. So if I complete one more in here, does that mean I'll get the next planet, or do I need to actually go to 5 here, like century, 100 population? Well, I guess we'll see once I finish this game. So we can keep adding more buildings. So we have medicine production, we have the starch. So we basically need a bioplastic production next. And we can make a processing plant for that. Also, we are really low on materials now, so we have to be really careful where we use them. We can recycle parts, so if for some reason I end up in the situation that we don't have materials left anymore, we can just rip off the table and make it into building materials. You can also recycle your colony ship, so we'll actually do that. It's gonna give me a bit more materials from that, actually quite a lot more materials that we can use for building. And same can be done with all of these other buildings, but you have to start from your outer buildings, so you cannot just in the middle here, you cannot just blow up this. And we are out of water, which means we are in a really bad situation, so we have to build another water collector. Because that is also our air generation. So I'm gonna turn off the biodome for a second so that we don't totally run out of water and people die of thirst and lack of oxygen. So this is how you need to keep expanding all the time. When suddenly something runs out, you're like, oh shit, we need this. Go make. Of course, if you pay more attention, you would have planned first and seen how much water you require for the plants and make the water collector first, or extractor first, and not just, oh no, we need water. Cancel, cancel. So this is the processing plant here. We'll add a... No, we don't blow it up. We'll add a bioplastic processor here and a metal processor. Actually, let's make two of each, since we have the materials now. So we are almost self-sustaining now once we get the water collector done, which is done now, which means we can enable this, which means we now have food growing. Medicine is almost done. We need a building that allows us to make that into medicine, and soon we have a bioplastic production. So we need mine next, which is that's a factory. Is mine actually an outdoor building? Yes, it is. So this is the mine. Actually, that is very nice location for this. So we'll put the mine out there. It actually might be a good idea soon to add another airlock in one of these edges, because you have to go out all the way here to build this building, and if there was a better airlock closer here, it would help. Also, when you have higher population, you start to have this congestion at your airlock. So like you saw, there was actually pretty bad congestion already when everyone was going through the same airlock at the same time. So you do want multiple airlocks around the place to allow for easier movement. Like when you build your landing pad, you pretty much want to dedicate a separate airlock for that purpose only, because you'll be hauling goods in and out through the landing pad, and also people. Our biologist needs to do some more work. We did add lots of high maintenance foods, so that's partially my fault. So that's the processing now done, and the mine is almost done, which means we have metals and we have bioplastic. So let's get the workshop. Is it the factory? I think it's the factory we need next. There's also, yeah, the lab is the one we need. Also, a sick bay would probably be a good idea. I think sick bay was one of those dead-end buildings, so we don't want to place that in a bad location. Let's put that there. So sick bay, and then we get the lab there. Why not connect there as well? So you can actually do multiple connections. I didn't show this earlier, but this allows you to connect them to multiple buildings and give them extra pathways, basically. I'm not sure. I hope they can get around there, because they cannot go through these. It might be difficult to get to the mine. Self-sufficiency reached. Yay! So you can actually look at these kind of pictures of your achievement here. So this is one of the milestones we hit. We now have a structure sustain your colony. So now we are self-sufficient. Well, not exactly, because we still need the medicine, but basically we are self-sustaining now. And that's pretty much the planet base. You just keep adding bigger and bigger things, more and more buildings. There's lots of things you can do. The security, there's also these antimeter laser telescopes and radio antennas and control centers, all kinds of things, monoliths. And then there's the whole trading portion of the game. Let me actually build a trade port so we can see the landing pad, because it's actually quite nice. So when you have a landing pad, there's randomly landing ships, traders into your colony, and you basically barter with them with your goods for different things. They sell basically everything that's available to be built or gained in general in the game, and it's a quite nice mechanic. If you have played other colony games like say RimWorld, Dwarf Fortress, Memoria, it's very similar in many of that sense. That you do the trading, and the whole colony building is very similar to that. So we have the landing pad here now, and now we have access to the landing permissions here, which allows us to take colonists, traders, and later on we have visitors when we build the starport. And you can choose here how you get your people. You can put these all into 0, well, basically disable it here, so you don't take any more people, but you can also request for specific ratios between the people, and also if you just have 100 persons, one of these, you will get that kind of worker. Stuff like the monolith here and this signpost. Let's actually make one of the signposts over there. And let's make the airlock here, as I was saying. So these things improve your which chart was that? Here. Improves your prestige, and prestige is required for different milestones naturally, but also it makes your colony more attractive for new colonists. Also this thing here also requires different things, so you need to keep your welfare good and your prestige good to get more people. And also when you start getting visitors, prestige is very important on that. Also when you get too well known, people start attacking you, the invaders, so you have to be careful and produce weapons and stuff. So we just ran out of power totally, because it's night time, the wind strength is 0, and we are gonna pretty much die. And our power collector wasn't not nearly good enough. So this is gonna be an interesting situation. So during a situation like this, you just need to power off everything that you don't need. Everything non-vital has to go now. And this is where I would like to have this power information visible all the time, so I could see how much power do I need at the moment and how much do I need to turn off. Do not die. So now we have enough power. The wind turbines kicked in. But yeah, you can really badly get screwed over during the nighttime. So next step would be build more power generation and more power storage, so we don't actually get into this situation again the next night. Let's enable everything and see how much are we using the juice. Yeah, we're still a bit over that, but it's becoming daytime and the wind power is kicking in very well. But let's make another power collector, one of these bigger ones. and also a massive solar panel. Hopefully we don't actually have materials for those, so tough luck. So we need actually mining to get done and get a metal process to do that, or we can buy as well if we happen to get a trader coming here. And often traders can be very important for stuff like that. Give you a really good boost of materials. We could of course remove one of the buildings or even one of these connections for extra material. Like, let's pop this off, and that's one metal for me. And of course this was a kind of useless building, so I'm just gonna remove that as well. But yeah, anyways, as I said, this is Planetbase, and it's a pretty cool colony builder game. It's very unforgiving and brutal sometimes. There's my trader. No, that's actually his people arriving. So there you see that as well. Great timing. There's few things about it that are kinda annoying and nasty. Like I said, it's super unforgiving, and one mistake will and can ruin your colony really quickly. And not having some of the information all the time visible makes that quite annoying in that sense. Also, I don't know how replayable it will be after you've done a really good base in the each planet, in the desert planet, frozen planet, in the gas giant moon, because the building pretty much always follows the same certain pattern. You build the initial buildings first, then you keep adding. So there's not too many different variables that change the thing, other than how the terrain is laid out. So basically where you can place buildings and stuff like that. But other than that, it's always pretty much the same, and there's not that variable events. Of course, the meteors hitting in randomly and sandstorms and solar flares and stuff like that can cause all kinds of fun issues. But to reach that point where you get bored to the game and you have done everything, you've already spent many hours on the game. I already have quite many hours, and I need to play some more. So here's the trade ship. You can click on that. This is a raw materials trader, and it brings us starch, ore, and coins. So we could buy a starch here, and they're asking for 40% commission, and we could sell something like say medicine in here, and then you just match these basically to be about the same value and you trade. So that's the trading as well. And they also always are different kind of random traders. They bring guns, food, raw materials, robots, and stuff like that. But anyways, I highly still recommend checking out this game, and I don't know, have fun with it. It is a really cool game if you enjoy colony builders. But anyways, that's been my quick look this time, and I'll see you guys next time.